Dillafiller here. About a month ago, OmniViewer started up this thing called One Monstrous Moment, which was basically the kaiju version of the One Marvelous Scene thing that a lot of Marvel YouTubers were doing in order to build up hype and excitement for Avengers Endgame. And he decided to do that because he thought, why let Marvel fans have all the fun? Let's get some kaiju Godzilla YouTubers in that. And I thought it was perfect. I want to be part of it. I want to have fun with it. It's going to be really fun. And the thing is I did not expect the amount of stress I would put myself in for this entire thing. Now, of course, that's an exaggeration. I wasn't over here like sweating, like getting like gray hairs, anything like that. But I'm just more saying that it was an unnecessary, complicated process that I felt like I could have easily got myself through if I thought more about what scene I wanted to talk about. Now, the scene I originally wanted to do was the ending of Gamera 3. But the reason why I backed out of that, because I didn't think I was the right or appropriate person to talk about an ending like that. I felt like people have done a way better job than me talking about the ending, and also as well, I felt like if I would just talk about it in general, it would just kind of become this big long tangent. It would ultimately just become a big movie review. So that's why I backed out of it, like I didn't want to make it too long. This video is already kind of long anyway. It's a minute in and I haven't even got to my scene yet. So then I switched gears to Son of Godzilla. I want to do the ending of Son of Godzilla. And the thing is I wrote a script down, got my audio recorded, and I was ready to start editing, putting all the visual stuff and everything like that. But the thing is a YouTuber beat me. A YouTuber beat me to the punch. He did the ending of Son of Godzilla. Nothing against this YouTuber. It's not his fault. Anything like that. But after seeing that, I was bummed out because I was there like, man, I thought I had a scene no one else had. But turns out people had a scene that I had. And so ultimately after that, even though overlapping is allowed in this, I ultimately had to scrap it, throw away everything I did, and start brand new. This is basically the rushed version of the One Monstrous Moment. But I decided to take a moment that, for one, is easy to explain, doesn't require that much thought, anything like that, and two, also has some form of a personal effect with me, whether it was a bonding moment with a friend, a moment that sparked my imagination young, everything like that. And I feel like there is no other moment that does that as well as the reveal of Biollante's second form in Godzilla vs. Biollante. This movie is one of my all-time favorite Godzilla movies. I believe it's my fourth favorite in the franchise. I overall just really love and enjoy the movie to like the utmost extent. I could barely find any flaws in it. It's one of my more go-to Godzilla movies. I just find the more grounded reality and then the world building that the film has a lot is really engaging and intriguing. Also, is my favorite Godzilla design to date, the Biogoji suit. Well, he's tied with Megara Goji, but yeah. And overall, it was just, it's one of my favorite Godzilla films in general. And of course, what really helps with that, it has one of my favorite monsters in the Godzilla franchise, Biollante. Biollante is an amazing kaiju creation that I really wish we got to see more nowadays. She's just amazing. She's just a special effect brought to life. Both her forms, Rose and her second form, the one we'll be talking about today. Now, the reason why I selected that moment, I'll get into a bit, but ultimately I feel like what we need to do is just talk about what happens in the scene, and then we'll dissect why I love it. Now, earlier on in the movie, Godzilla vs. Biollante, Godzilla does ultimately defeat Biollante in her Rose form, and she's presumably dead, but little pieces of dust, pollen, sparkles, whatever, go up into the sky and fly away, giving a hint that Biollante isn't finished yet. Now, of course, throughout the film, Biollante does kind of become non-existent to the plot. She's just kind of gone and is just primarily focusing on stopping Godzilla. But after they inject Godzilla with anti-nuclear energy bacteria and they raised his temperature up a bit, out of nowhere, dust, pollen, whatever, I don't know what to call it, starts falling from the sky and makes its way to the ground below. Then after that, the ground begins to rumble, and tendrils and tentacles with Venus flytrap mouths start to rip out of the earth and whipping all the military vehicles nearby, destroying them. And then Biollante arises. Biollante is without a doubt, like I mentioned before, one of the best kaiju creations the franchise will ever have, and it's going to be extremely hard to beat something like that. Like, when I did my kaiju list, I don't recall any other new kaiju beating out Biollante. If not, it was probably a new, and it was probably maybe Orga. I don't even remember my own podcast, but I did know Biollante was on my list, and just talking about her was just so much fun. She is definitely a special effect brought to life. Me explaining the scene, everything like that. And I'm mainly just focusing on the resurrection scene of Biollante. I'm not focusing on the fight she has with Godzilla, anything like that. I'm focusing on the scene when she first rises. It is one of my favorite all-time Godzilla scenes because it is the one that I feel like uses the cinematography, lighting, scale, and overall has the best summation and puppetry you will find in a Godzilla movie, period. It is, without a doubt, just amazing. It's just, it astounds me how how Godzilla movies after this couldn't exactly capture what it had. You know, you would expect the guy who did the special effects for this movie to improve every movie after that, but no, Biollante is literally a lightning caught in a bottle. There has been nothing like that ever since. The closest I can think about is Mothra and Tokyo SOS. That's the closest next like really, really good special effect that came out of the Godzilla series after that. That was a practical effect, not CGI. But the lighting used in the scene, like having the flashing reds and greens, added a lot to it and such. And I really do enjoy the music too. Some people are a little iffy on Biollante's music, but I personally enjoy it a lot. And ultimately, to me, the main reason why I'm picking this scene is because of a more personal experience I had with a friend of mine. Now, I'm best friends with this individual, and one day he wanted to see some Godzilla movies. So I told him, hey, I'm going to show you 4 of them, and he was completely up for it. I went over to his house, and the movies I selected was Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, 74, Godzilla vs. Biollante, and Godzilla Final Wars. I showed him those 4 movies, and all of his reactions to them were pretty tamed. They were basically, yeah, I thought they were fun. I thought they were good. But the one moment that caught his attention was Biollante coming out of the ground and revealing her second form. He legitimately got up a bit and said, "That looks awesome." And it's the first time ever I legitimately heard from another person say something from a Japanese Godzilla movie looked good. That is something I've been trying my hardest ever since I was a little kid, to make people go, they don't look that bad. They don't look pretty good. And I was able to get one person to drop their jaw on just how amazing a special effect looked. And Biollante was that special effect. And that's probably the main reason why I hold this moment so near and dear to my heart, because it was one moment that basically made someone take the film and the special effects and the work behind the movies a lot more serious, at least around the same level I do. And it was just, to me, it just felt impactful, and I overall just really enjoyed it. Me and him, it was a great bonding moment between me and my friend. We watched all 4 of them. It was fun. And I believe out of that night, Biollante was his favorite monster just because of that overall moment. He just thought she looked amazing and such. And to be honest, all the effort put into Biollante, mainly her second form, was executed basically perfectly and deserves all the praise it can. What an amazing special effect. But overall, that about does it. Thank you guys for watching. I had a lot of fun making this really rushed One Monstrous Moment video. I definitely recommend checking everyone else's One Monstrous video out. A lot of them went into a bunch of detail what their favorite scene is and such, and also a big special thanks to OmniViewer for starting this whole thing up. If it wasn't for him, this most likely wouldn't have happened. I'm really glad to see the community kind of come together and do this big community project. It's just really fun, and I'm glad to be a part of it, even though it's very rushed. But overall, yeah, I had a lot of fun. So yeah, that's it. Tell me in the comments below, what is your One Monstrous Moment? And anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.